Today's horror manga dubbed narration is A Ghostly March, from the horror anthology A Collection of Peculiar Happenings. Original author, Revolver, and chief artist, Old Man San. If you enjoy the story, please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into A Ghostly March. I hope you all enjoy. The year was 1999. I graduated from university and came to the Yao Autonomous County in the mountains to work as a support teacher. There, I witnessed many ancient and mysterious customs and traditions. Life in the mountains was simple, without cell phones or the internet, but I had the children as company to enrich my days. But when the sun set beyond the mountains and the children finished their school day, it still felt a little lonely living alone in the school. One night, I wanted to visit the village below the mountains to buy some daily necessities. As I walked along the small path in the mountains, the birds in the woods suddenly flew out of the trees in droves as if frightened. Suddenly, I heard the tapping of footsteps drifting in from the path behind me, as if a crowd was walking along the path. The sounds moved progressively nearer, but when I looked back, the path was empty. I was wondering if I was just hallucinating, or if I had mistakenly confused the sound of the wind for footsteps. But the tapping sounds rang clear in my ears, getting progressively nearer. I looked back again and saw a group of people approaching me from afar. It was a team of soldiers wearing a body of cane armor. I got a clear look at their faces when they marched past me, and my blood froze in my veins. But it was obvious they weren't alive. They looked more like ghosts who had just marched from the gates of hell. Rows and rows of soldiers appeared, with no end in sight. A cold wind accompanied their presence as they marched past. I was forced to crouch at the side of the road. The sound of the taps was increasingly piercing. I couldn't take it anymore. I screamed. "Ugh!" After I screamed, the surrounding noises stopped completely. The deadly silence was even more terrifying. I looked up in fear. The soldiers had come to a stop. It was as if they had realized I was here. They stared at me steadfastly, and in an instant, I lost consciousness. When I awoke, I was lying in one of the villagers' homes. They explained to me how they saved me. Last night, they were hunting in the mountains when they saw the ghostly soldiers marching on the mountain path. According to the villagers' customs, one had to kneel and pray for God's blessing if one experienced any ghostly encounters. But one of the curious villagers saw me in the midst of the marching ghosts. I was marching forward along with the ghostly soldiers, and they knew I would die in the mountains, never to return. They were grateful to me for educating their children and couldn't bear to see me die in such a manner, so they loaded up their hunting rifles. A moment later, the piercing sound of gunfire rang across the woods. The piercing sound of gunfire deep in the woods rocked the entire village. And after the ghostly soldiers gradually disappeared, I was left alone, body weak and slumping into a pile. I couldn't remember anything after I was rescued. Later, The villagers told me paranormal sightings were a frequent occurrence in the area. Whether they were caused by the weather or the terrain, nobody knew. After working as a support teacher for 2 years, I left the Yao Autonomous County. I couldn't forget the beautiful scenery, the pure and simple villagers, the cute children, and the ancient and mysterious customs. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'd like to take this time to give a very special thanks to my Patreons and YouTube members: Sarah De Jesus, Motosurf, Cleo, Myuu, Tago, Andre Wolf, Voodoo, Louise V, and Alex S. Thank you so much everyone, and remember, you're important and you matter. Have a great night everyone. Goodbye.